in P-Town at Joe's with the owner of Tim SCAPES. Can you show me your knuckles?
Oh yeah.
That is so hardcore. Were you like a total hardcore punk rocker teenager?
No, I was totally like a faggoty new wave person.
Oh. I didn't know if it was like you were like straight edge or. What is your full name?
Tim Convery.
Tim Convery. Like if someone wants to stalk you on Facebook or something like that.
Yeah, Tim Cozy. Is it on this side, Cozy? I forget.
Yo, it is. Yes.
Yeah, Tim Cozy Convery.
Oh my God, where did that come from? You know tattoos are forever, they don't wash off.
I know. It started as this nickname, and then I called my dog, I had a dog, and I called her Cozy, and then I was hanging out with the Radical Fairies for a while, so then that
Very
came
familiar.
in handy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably know a lot of the same people.
You grew up in New York City, right? Because you were saying you had a... Wait.
No, I grew up in central Massachusetts, and then in '82 I moved to New York to go to art school, dropped out, and then did a lot of design work, but did it like through the back door, like...
A lot of us do, Tim.
I worked in like a few design studios and ended up getting better and better jobs, and then my last job was working for this big cosmetics company and like making tons and tons of money, but it was just completely hideous. And left there, and like we were talking, I did the massage thing.
Right. I think a lot of people, like when they do a changed career, they feel slightly like they want to take care of themselves. They end up at like the massage business.
Well, I think I mean, it's sort of corny, but I felt like massage was one of those things that when I was super flipped out, I could use it to kind of calm down. And just with injuries and stuff, it was one thing that I saw that really helped, and really, I saw it help other people, but it also, in my own life, it really helped me. And so I did that in New York for a while, and then met this guy named Larry who owns P-Town Massage here, and he asked me if I wanted to come here for a summer.
Oh, is that what brought you to P-Town?
Yeah. So that was the winter of '09. So the summer of 2010, I moved here, and worked there for 2 summers, and then at that point opened my own business, opened Tim SCAPES.
Had Tim SCAPES been like an idea in your head up until then, or did it just kind of organically happen while you're here in P-Town?
You know what? The super short version of it is that probably in the mid '80s, if I was going to give you a present, I would wrap it.
I love presents.
I would wrap it in I'd wrap it in craft paper.
Yeah.
Then on the top, either in electrical tape or duct tape, in this very rectilinear typeface, I would write your name and just make like a logo of your name.
Yeah.
So I did that.
That was like becoming like your staple or your signature.
But it
almost
wasn't any big thing. It was just what I did.
It was economical for poor artists.
And people loved it.
Yeah.
You know? And I think it probably came out of like not having wrapping paper in the house or just having a few.
I myself
staples.
has taken brown paper bags and not duct tape, or like some sort of tape. I've even used double-sided tape, which doesn't work as well.
Yeah.
if you can imagine.
So what happened was the winter of 2010, I drove cross country with 2 friends and went to Portland, Oregon, and fell in love with this guy. And for Christmas, for his birthday in January, I wrapped up some present. I forget what it was, but I did.
A dildo.
I think it was from Mr. S. Leather. I don't think it was a dildo though. I think it might have been like a executioner's mask or something.
Oh, nice.
But I did this same thing. I like wrapped it up and did the tape, and he loved. I think he liked the tape. I think he liked the wrapping more
better than the
present.
extra present. Yeah.
And he said to me, "Look, you've got to make these really big." So I bought a huge roll of craft paper and then tons and tons of colored duct tape and started doing these drawing. I mean, it was basically just type studies.
Right.
Like I was really working out the alphabet and what each letter
and seeing what you
like.
could do with the material probably as well, and working with it.
And so I did that the winter of 2010, and then I incorporated. Like I love travel posters, so I was making like these weird travel posters, sort of like like I only gave myself 4 spaces to write the name.
Okay.
There were 4 pockets, so it's either like taking out letters or creating weird ligatures or whatever, so that you could still understand it. So it's really almost like a logo type. Then above that, I would create like a weird pictogram of what the place was. You know, I did like Alaska, I did a lot of states, I did different towns, I did a lot of P-Town stuff.
It's almost the branding, the state of the country.
So it's these almost like cryptic travel posters, or like I feel like my stores, it's like this punk version of Sesame Street.
Nice.
Because it's very friendly, but there's sort of this
light
edginess to it.
Do you know the fashion designer Walter Van Beirendonk?
Yes.
Well, the colors and the playfulness, and it's like punky.
Does he do like weird shit with like weird leather masks with like fake mustaches and little hats?
He did just this past season. He's incredible.
Oh, I fucking love him. I don't know. I'm just sick of like stores where it's like a barber shop and we sell Red Wing boots, and I don't know.
It's very popular in candles. Don't forget the candles or cute
like
belts.
I'm so bored with that.
I get you. I like those shops too, though, because there's always cute men. Like, you know, there's they're very like they like to describe themselves as masculine. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I feel like there's enough of those.
You want something more playful, and that's SCAPES.
Yeah, I think, you know what, the thing is, the store is so me on every single
Yeah?
one.
Oh, that's interesting, because
It's playful, and it's like a little bit dirty at times, and it's approachable, yet sophisticated, so it's really like this weird conglomeration of
I like the fact that it's not obvious what it is. Sometimes people may not even know or recognize that it's duct tape.
Right.
They're just like, oh, that's a really cool design.
Yeah.
How long has SCAPES been here?
It's been in P10. Oh, well, let me finish.
Okay, yeah, your
3
timeline.
years. So this is the timeline. So anyway, that's...
Look, I'm going at your leg.
Timeline. So the spring of 2011, I came back with a ton of these tapescapes. These big 30 by 40 drawings with duct tape.
Okay.
Of all different places.
I just love the drawings with duct tape, yeah.
So, then this guy, who actually, he owned the store Rogues Gallery, this guy Alex Carlton, I just randomly showed him the tapescapes. He's like, these are amazing. He's like, let's do a show. Because he owned Rogues Gallery, but he also owned Folksol Gallery.
Oh, so the feedback was, he's like,
he loved
major.
It. And he really, you know, Alex, I owe him a lot. I mean, he really...
Shout out to Alex.
He's
still here in the area?
No, he doesn't live here anymore. He lives in Portland. He was just here for Bear Week.
Okay.
But he was someone who said, look, this is amazing, and then gave me the show. And when we had done the show, he said, look, let's...
Was that in 2010? Or after that now? 11 now,
This is 2011. So he said, let's do some t-shirts based on your duct tape designs. And he doesn't have the company anymore, but he did this really cool thing where he would take old t-shirts, over dye them, and then print them. Like amazing t-shirts. Yeah. And so we did my t-shirts that way too, and we ended up selling out of all the t-shirts that I did for him.
These are one of those things you never know what the response may be. Like, you may have this fantastic, amazing idea, and then I've done it with things before, and I put it there, and everyone's like, eh.
Can I tell you, like, when I moved here, I wouldn't even wear a graphic t-shirt. Like, I made sure all my t-shirts were just solid colors, because coming out of New York, like the whole like Barney's Co-op graphic tee explosion from the 90s, like it just kind of completely gagged me. But we did them and they looked amazing, and I saw that this could be a way for me to like take all the stuff that I knew something about in fashion and things that I loved and like kind of mush it into one thing. So Alex was the one that said to me, look, really think about opening a store.
What is Alex's last name?
Carlton.
Carlton, okay.
And he said, you should think about opening a store. And I hadn't ever thought about doing that. so he said, really think about like opening a shop. So the winter of 2011, became a corporation, trademarked my P-Town logo.
Is it the P-Town logo, the one you're wearing on your shirt now?
Yeah, this little one.
Because I've seen a lot of versions of it, I just didn't know.
But so I just kind of took it piecemeal, like whatever I needed to do to start this business. And then in the spring of 2012, I opened a little shop in the Far East End.
Okay.
And I lived upstairs, so it was just a little...
Something very romantic about that sound. Here, the area you're shopped downstairs,
Right.
living upstairs.
You just like ring the bell and I come down.
The only thing would have been better if like you lived on a boat. That was like attached to the store out back.
Oh, or the store was on the boat. That would have been awesome.
Yes.
But anyway, maybe that'll be in the future. So then people loved it. Like, I think what I've done is rebrand P-Town, not intending to do it, but
Yeah.
I think that's what I did.
Yeah, it took on. Well, I think maybe they might have filled a gap or something. Maybe it needed a little modernization or something.
Well,
Change, switch.
It's funny because when I opened my shop in 2012, this young woman came in and she said, it's 2012 and in your shop I feel like it's 2012.
Yeah.
Where most of the shops in P-Town, it's like 1990, it's 2000, it's 1975,
Yeah.
it's 1984. So I definitely hit a nerve. I hit a nerve with the townies and the tourists.
Yeah.
And I did an ad campaign the first year where I only use people that live here.
Okay. I just saw a picture recently with Aaron Tone in the picture.
Oh yeah, that was my Bear Week ad for this year.
Okay, it's great. Well, use what the local community has to offer. Aaron Tone.
Yeah. So I'm always keeping my eyes peeled for interesting looking towns.
Yeah. That's I like that. That's some of the things I do in San Francisco. I love to just even the place itself. It's such a good background. I love these people who live there, they're from there.
Yeah.
People I don't know. I'm like, I know you live here. I see you at the coffee shop. Will you come and do something with me just because I just love the way you look?
Yeah.
It's like I wish I had like a voucher to say, oh, this will vouch for me that I'm not really gonna kill you up and chop you into pieces. I just want you part of this.
Right. And
And don't piss me off. I love the vibe.
and then in 2013, I opened a bigger store in the center of town.
That's where I first visited last year, the week after Bear Week.
Yeah.
For 4 days, and I believe the store was up close there.
Yeah, and so I had the two stores for a while, and that was like way too much.
Oh, you kept the other little
Yeah, I
one
kept
too.
the other store, and
You wanted to monopolize. You were like monopolizing.
I was trying to do the
game.
Marc Jacobs thing, like how like 50 stores in a row.
Yeah.
And do like a laundromat and a gas station.
Yeah, post office boxes, temporary tattoos.
I think what would be good would be some like rug shampooing and
Yes.
renting out.
You are a man with a lot of thoughts and ideas. Okay, so you open the new store.
So I opened the new store, and it was like yet another, like people hadn't been to the
Yeah.
shop in the East End because it was too far east.
Well, that's the thing. Location, location, location. You're smack dab in the middle now.
So that is has been really good. I tried doing I tried doing kids and women's stuff. I spent a fortune, and this town really can't support it. Like, you need to do just unisex stuff.
Yeah.
So that was one major thing I learned. And then the other thing I learned in 2013 was working with nonprofits. I did a special T-shirt and hoodie for a local no-kill shelter, and I gave them 15% of the proceeds.
Oh, and then made a special design for that
Yeah,
event.
and they loved it.
Oh, that's
So
I
now-
like.
now
I want you
this
to make an
year-
excellent bear design.
This one, Feed a Hungry Bear.
Yes, you're gonna. You're gonna.
So
And you're gonna give me a discount.
okay. So then this year I'm actually working with 7 different nonprofits, 2 national and then 5 local here in P-Town or on the Cape.
Oh, it's amazing.
So and what I thought was, at some point, having my corporation, that down the road, I would be able to, support, like have a nonprofit myself, or do a foundation or something
Yeah.
for like young creative people or something. And I thought maybe I can just start now.
Right.
And make some kind of difference now.
Right. Are you still creating a nonprofit or organization yourself, or are you still just kind of
Not yet.
finding? There's a lot out there, so you can find others to like donate money or
Right
funds
now
to.
I have the Breast Cancer Research Foundation, Lambda Legal, CASA is a local no-kill shelter, Provincetown Library, and then there's like 3 or 4 others. So that's also like a big part of my DNA of my shop. Like
Yeah.
I wanna give back. It's not. I mean, I feel like sometimes here in P-Town you have a few months to make all your money for the year,
Right.
and people are just like, if you stand in my shop for more than 5 minutes, you owe me $5. That kind of.
Yeah, well, there's like
It's
a
like time
price
is-
tag on everybody.
So I feel like
time, quantity, the type of customer.
and I think that it also motivates people to shop. Like they might be buying it anyway, but the fact that
I'm more motivated now just hearing that. I actually didn't know about the nonprofit part. I'm like, I want to go buy some shit.
so I have. They're called helper tees. That's the kind of the line that I have.
Yeah.
And there's like a little logo screened on the back of each piece that tells you that this goes to a nonprofit. 15% goes to a nonprofit.
Oh, amazing. Did you just start something when I was talking? I got the email from Brian. He said you did something called the Gaycation or the.
Gaycation, yeah.
What is that about?
That's initially when I started doing all the tapescapes, I'd done all these different locations, and I'd done Palm Springs and kind of traditionally gay vacation spots. So what I did last winter was I designed logos, probably for 20 different locations. Then I did a little Facebook focus group. And,
Oh, good. San Francisco was one of the locations,
Castro.
right?
I did
Castro, yeah.
Silver Lake, Palm Springs, Rehoboth, Algonquin, The Pines, Pahoa, which I did.
You know Big Island? I lived I lived there for a long time.
Pahoa, but
Hello.
I loved the graphics so much. I kind of like retrofitted that. So that was
I'll buy the Pahoa. I lived in the Big Island for
purple.
years.
It's so cute. It's got a big volcano on it.
Do you know Kalani Hanua? That like kind of gay finances.
I mean, ultimately, I'd love to have a store, maybe in San Francisco and New York, where it's like a big store where you can travel like all over the country with like t-shirts and tank tops and all this stuff.
You kind of collect them along the way.
Yeah, you're kind of like, it's almost like a road that you're going through the store and you're stopping at all these places.
Oh, I like that.
So,
I know I was going to ask what's next for SCAPES, but world domination.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like that is, but I'd like something. I don't know if it's a franchise, but I'd like if it was in the community for the communities to make it and design it and sell it. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Is that sort of like giving away my company? I don't know. I don't want it to just be this like boilerplate for every single place.
Yeah.
Eventually,
you want it to be like city specific.
Yeah, so that people
with the branding of SCAPES.
That's I think where I'd love to somehow be a part of that community making their own kind of scape thing.
Yeah, well, I think that's possible if you just keep doing your own thing.
I don't know, what is that called?
I don't know. That's the other thing. When I'm traveling,
It's sort of like anti-corporation, but I want to somehow, obviously make money, but not in this
not by
gross
raping
way.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, and being
it's a weird thing
making
too.
everything in China and just slapping logos on shit and.
I think it's called integrity.
Yeah, that's it. Integrity, authenticity. Yeah, that's what I want.
Well, I've been through secrets, so it's weird about keeping small and having secrets, but then sharing with the world.
But I don't think you can keep. It's not the same. It's not the same world that I grew up in when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And you had to go to New York because there was nowhere else you couldn't find any. You couldn't talk to anybody cool. But now, with the internet and the whole world is everybody can talk to everybody, which I think is sort of awesome.
Yeah, the world is a lot smaller.
I think a lot of people my age get really bummed out, they want to go back and be I love New York when it was just really dirty or whatever. Like
Yeah, they think now it's become really.
You can't go backwards, and I think that you romanticize parts of your life when you were like in your early 20s or late teens, and that was like this golden time. And I feel like my life really began at 50 in some weird way.
I love that.
You know, it didn't like.
Well, I think it's encouraging.
My 40s. I mean, my 40s were awesome. 20s were horrifying. 30s were all right. 40s were good, and then 50s are awesome.
See, that's amazing to hear because there's so much in the role models also in the gay community that like, oh my god, when you're 30, you're dead. But I'm 40, and I'm like, I'm peaking. I'm just peaking.
No, I feel like I finally know enough and have done enough to like, I'm able to like have the kind of life that I've always wanted. Like I thought it was about buying a bunch of shit in New York and working for some big gross corporation. And
so P-Town is home and where the place
Totally.
is all year round. You're all year round resident.
And you know what? I like the off season better. I love when there's nobody here and there's like snow drifts that are like up to here. Like,
Oh my god,
awesome.
I cannot wait to see that.
Are you?
I think we're good.
I'm
Thanks.
gonna do it this year.
Thanks, Tim Scapes. Does everyone
Bye.
call you Tim Scapes?
Some people do.
When I'm lying in my bed at night, I don't wanna grow up. Nothing ever seems to turn out right, and I don't wanna grow up. How do you move in a world with fog that's always changing things? It makes me wish that I could be a dog. When I see the price that you pay,